Let's hear it for Moroni and Cristobal. And the League of Native American Voters for putting this together so that we can come and we can express our righteous indignation at this administration. When Moroni asked me to speak to you today, I felt entirely overwhelmed, and I admit that I still do. I'm the epitome of privilege, from my race and education to my faith and my sexuality. The president and his Republican Party are waging a crusade against this country's minority populations. Their actions on the surface do not appear to directly affect me or people like me. So what do I have to offer? I'm willing and I'm ready to fight with you in the trenches against this alarming American-branded fascism. But this is not my movement to lead. While I may not be the direct target of this government's xenophobia, I know that their racist and toxic agenda does affect me and every single American in a tragic fashion. Upon hearing the infamously heinous remarks last week, I realized that I work with individuals from every faction that the president and his Republican cronies are so keen to slander and malign. In the course of my work, I rely on the associations I have with immigrants and refugees from El Salvador, Haiti, and a variety of African countries on a daily basis. These untiring individuals enrich our community in countless and often thankless ways. While the president slanders the origins of these same industrious Americans, I find on a regular basis that they have more integrity and single breath than Donald has ever had in the entirety of his pathetic existence. And if you would allow me a moment, I would like to address my representative, Mia Love. Let it be known that we are grateful for her harsh rebuke of the president's remarks. However, it certainly feels as if her statement is a little too late and it comes far too little. Her words ring incredibly hollow as we simultaneously review her voting record over the past year. In October, she voted to criminalize women of color desperately in need of abortion care. Over the summer, she voted in favor of a law that increased the criminal penalties of undocumented Americans, an increase in punishments already defined as inhumane by a variety of international legal observers. And instead of protecting her most at-risk constituents, Utah's hardworking population, she voted to withhold federal funds from states and localities that provide sanctuary for the most vulnerable of Americans. Apparently, the Congresswoman's disgust of racism only appears when she personally becomes the victim of its ugly reality. In less than a year, she supported numerous policies that are wreaking havoc on our communities of color and middle-class Americans more generally. We know that she's not alone in this endeavor. We must all hold our politicians to account for this travesty they call governance. I call on Representative Love and all of our federal and state officials to stand against this racism and these attacks against our fellow Americans. But if there's anything that I want to convey with you today, it's this. If the president's loathing paired with the disastrous agenda of the racist cabal we call our representation has filled you with righteous indignation, do not back down. Know that you are not alone. I am here, you are here, and we are here together. I would be remiss to not include the man who today we celebrate. He said that although we may have all come on different ships, we're in the same boat now. We must continue to stand up as we are doing today and fight back. The attacks on our immigrant communities, the attacks on our refugee communities, the attacks on our Native communities will not divide us. These incursions only unite us. It is this country's diversity that makes us great. It's our desire to include communities once marginalized to the fabric of American life. The fear of the other will not succeed over the hope of diversity and inclusion. We may be disappointed in the current state of affairs, but we've been here before and we will continue to fight until justice has been served. We cannot ask other folks to do more for us than we are willing to do for ourselves, so continue to show up and resist. Call, email, and agitate. Constant challenges are the key to change, so keep striving. If I may, in closing, quote Nina Turner. All you need are 3 bones. The wishbone, the jawbone, and the backbone. The wishbone will keep you hoping and praying because hope is the motivator and dream is the driver. The jawbone will give you the courage to speak truth to power. But the most important bone of them all, the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious bone, is the backbone because it will keep you standing through trials and tribulations. and it is what gives you the moral fortitude to change hearts and minds. Guess what, brothers and sisters? We can't have a testimony without a test, and we're being tested right now on whether we have enough courage, enough hope, enough fight, and enough love to do what is necessary. Thank you, and continue to resist.